There it is. Okay. Hi, good morning. I'm Pam Fox. Thank you for being here. This morning, I have a green juice slash smoothie. This is about a quarter to a half of a green cabbage, one apple, one orange. We're out of a lot of stuff right now. And then I mixed in almost a scoop of the Vega One green powder, which is a plant-based protein powder that's got 6 servings of greens in it. Not my favorite green juice, but it's just, you know, some days we just don't have anything. I put some oats on this morning. And I don't have anything to put on my oats. And I normally like to put, if you watch me, you know I like to put a lot of fruit on there. So I've got some blueberries at work, and I'll eat it later at work. So that's the plan. This morning I wanted to talk about rheumatoid arthritis. Because I was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis when I was in about the 3rd grade. And I've done a couple of videos. Well, actually I've just done one video on it. I did one video on it. And I recently had a question for somebody who suffers with rheumatoid arthritis. And she wanted to know, she's vegan too, and she's experienced healing as well, but she wanted to know if I experienced permanent joint damage as a result of my rheumatoid arthritis, and if I've experienced healing or not of the joint damage. Because for those of you that don't know much about rheumatoid arthritis, especially in children, the damage is done to the joints, and then if you go into remission later in life and you're arthritis free or symptom free, you still have damage that was done previously, you know, during that bout of rheumatoid arthritis. So there's damage to the joints, which can cause you to be, you know, inflexible, can cause joint pain, can cause just inability to have any endurance, like to go for, you know, a medium to a long walk without your feet and your knees hurting. Just really poor flexibility, like in your fingers and wrists, elbows and shoulders. And pain associated with that. So I just wanted to do a quick video to talk about my experience as someone who's had rheumatoid arthritis most of my life, and the joint damage that comes along with that. So I became vegan a little over 2 years ago, and I've been 100% symptom free as far as rheumatoid arthritis goes. I shouldn't say 100% because I do have symptoms, and I sometimes have a hard time distinguishing what those symptoms are and whether or not that's just normal for everybody. And I don't think it is normal for everybody. For example, I work in an assisted living with elderly people. When older people sit for long periods of time, they get very stiff, or even a short period of time, maybe sitting for 30 minutes at the table for a meal. You know, they get stiff through their hip joints and their back, their knees, and they kind of have to get up slow and wiggle around and kind of loosen up and warm up. Now, most normal, healthy people don't experience that. I still experience that from time to time. Not nearly as bad as it used to be, but if I sit for a long period of time at my desk and then I go to stand up, I do notice that I'm a little stiff. It takes me about 10 seconds to warm up and wiggle that out and be fine. But that's an example of how I still probably am suffering from that permanent joint damage. I still have really poor flexibility. It's something I have to work on. I should probably be practicing yoga every day. That would be tremendously helpful for me. I don't practice it every day. But I feel that I have overcome a lot of these things leaps and bounds. One thing that I've always... it's always been a challenge for me is my feet, my ankles, my feet. Just going for, you know, a walk maybe around the block, you know, a short little 30-minute to an hour walk around my community. That's always been a challenge for me. My feet within about 5 to 10 minutes start to hurt. My ankles start to hurt. There's swelling. And it's just not comfortable. It's not enjoyable to go for a walk because, you know, my feet hurt. So about, I don't even know how long it's been, around the beginning of this summer, so it would have been around June, maybe it was May, I really wanted to see if I could improve the health of my feet. And so what I started doing was, I live near the beach, so I started going for walks in the sand without shoes on. And then I started actually running in the sand. So for me, when I first started, a run might be 30 seconds. So I would walk, and then I would, maybe 30 seconds of a run, just a light little jog, and until I got up to where I was running for a full minute, until I got up to where I was running for a couple of minutes. And then I made it my goal to run 30 minutes without stopping. And I did reach that goal back in, I don't remember. It was not that long ago. It was in August, I believe. I ran 30 minutes without stopping. It wasn't pretty. I had to push myself, but I was able to do it without any pain to my feet. So I really did. I believe that you can really build back up the health of those joints if you're vegan now, of course, because the reason, and I know a lot of you watching this, if you're not really, if you don't really know much about a plant-based diet, I am convinced that the reason I had rheumatoid arthritis is because of the food I was eating. Animal foods, junk foods, they're highly acidic, and they cause an inflammatory response in the body, which can manifest itself in all kinds of diseases. I mean, you name it, it can manifest itself in all kinds of diseases. One of them happens to be rheumatoid arthritis. And so I believe, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I'm convinced that if I could go back in time and tell, little Pam Fox to cut out the meat, dairy, and eggs, that their arthritis probably just would have gone away. And the reason I believe this is because there are so many documented cases of people with rheumatoid arthritis who actually do go on a plant-based diet, and their symptoms go away. The arthritis goes away. And I'll link one place that I really love to go, and I talk about this a lot on this channel, is to Dr. John McDougall's website, where he has a link called Star McDougallers. I'll link that below. And there's a couple of his patients on there who did have rheumatoid arthritis, and I know one was a teenager, went on a plant-based diet, arthritis got better or went away. They got healed. Now, this isn't the case all of the time. I know this. I also follow a woman, her YouTube channel, and I'll link it below, is Love My Carbs. She is an adult suffering with rheumatoid arthritis, and she's tried everything, to cure her rheumatoid arthritis, and has failed. One of the things she did was went down to the True North Center in Santa Barbara under the care of Dr. Clapper. Doctors send their patients to this clinic, from all over who cannot overcome their arthritis, and he typically has success with them. And even for her, while she was there, what they do is they put you on a 30-day water fast, which is, I know is controversial, but it's a medically supervised water fast there at the clinic. And during that 30 days, your body is able to heal from a lot of diseases because you're not putting in the food that's making it sick. Well, then for her, during the 30 days, she did heal. She was symptom-free, but when they reintroduced the food, the arthritis came back. So that tells you that it is the food. Now for her, they were just reintroducing things really simple, like she would have only squash, some lightly sauteed squash in water for breakfast, lunch, and dinner when they introduced food, and the symptoms came back. So I understand that this isn't going to work for every person all of the time, but it's a great way to start if you do have arthritis, whether it's osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis. If you reduce, again, those acidic foods that are causing an inflammatory response, there's a good chance that you could see a lot of improvement, if not, going into a full remission from your symptoms. There's no guarantee, obviously, but that's been my experience. I have practiced yoga. Here's a shout out to my dad. When I was probably 12 years old, he brought home a Raquel Welch yoga tape on VHS. And that was my first introduction to yoga. So I started doing yoga then. And it really helped me to overcome some of my inflexibility. Now, like I said, I haven't practiced it my whole life. So, if I were to do it every day, I would be in much better shape, but I don't practice it every day. Many sufferers of rheumatoid arthritis have a lot of damage in their wrists and their hands. And so yoga, a lot of the yoga poses, especially the floor poses, create these poses where, you're in a position where your wrists are stretched, for example, and it's very difficult for people who suffer with rheumatoid arthritis. In fact, many of the poses they're just not possible. And so you have to modify the poses in order to do them. But I would still encourage people to do that, because just that gentle, coming into a position where the joints are stretched, and then holding that is a great way to improve your flexibility, to overcome a lot of that stiffness and to gain strength, which is great as well. So I think that's all I have to say on the matter. I'm going to go to work now and finish my juice. All right. Well, I hope this has been helpful. If you have any questions, I'd love to respond to them, or even do a response video to respond to any questions about rheumatoid arthritis. All right. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.